Right, welcome back, listeners, for another edition of Heads Up. And we had to wait another 5 days before we could watch the Auckland Cup, and you could see a long way out that Chanel was going to win, and she won really well in the end. But for those of us who were on Megastar on a heavy track for Saturday, we got rain on Friday, which we were wanted, but we just got too much, didn't we? And I do feel that Mega Blast would have won the Auckland Cup if it was run on Saturday on a heavy track. Are you thinking the same thing, Money Shot?
Well, if it was run on Saturday, Chanel wouldn't have started.
That's right, yeah.
Jack Star, as we suggested, probably wouldn't handle that sort of heavy track. So, yeah, I'd say Mega Blast probably would have won the Cup. But as they say, if sin butts were fruits and nuts, it'll be Christmas every day, and the Cup wasn't run on Saturday. Chanel won it on Thursday, and you always rated her a good horse after a sectional stand-up performance. I think it was in the Hawke's Bay Cup from memory, Neil. So you predicted a bright future for her, and she got a Group 1 on Thursday.
Yeah, that was a while ago, and top trainer Tony Pike, and it's a shame Blue Lagoon didn't hold on in the last race. I know a few punters were crying in their tea after that race, and I was one of them, but that's racing. It's a 50-50 call in the end, I felt, but would have been nice if Blue Lagoon, my number 9, the grey too. I thought I was home and hosed, but that's racing. And Humidor last week, good to see the Kiwi win the Australian Cup. And for those of us who are on Exospheric, you can feel rightly robbed. I just could not frickin' well understand Damien Oliver not getting on its back, knowing Humidor was going to run in and cramp everything up on the inside of it. The tempo was there, but it's been a bad week, hasn't it, Money Shot, for some?
Well, I'd be backing everything Oliver rides. You bagged Opie Bossum the week before and he comes out and wins a derby. So now that you've bagged Oliver,
yeah,
he might win. I guess the rail seemed to be the place to be, so I guess he figured it was better trying his luck on the rail. But, yeah, I can see your frustration for sure, but great to see Humidor, Frank, good Kiwi form.
Yeah, too right.
Get a group 1 over there. And speaking of jockeys that made average decisions, and it's Blake Shin on Mime yesterday.
Yeah.
That probably cost it the race, but he redeemed himself with a Group 1 success later in the day. But, yeah, if you back Mime as well, you wouldn't be feeling particularly enamoured with Mr. Shin's ride.
Yeah, definitely. And that Summer Passage did win well yesterday. The Times say he is a good horse, and off to Australia, you'd think. So good to see another Kiwi do well over there. And Penrith showed their class last week for us.
Yeah, they did. They did the business, but the horse had bolted when Canberra let us down the night before. Got smoked by the Sharks, so licking our wounds a bit there, but we're going to reload on them. I think they'll be too good this week. But that was good, and a couple of games of rugby. New Zealand Derby's the Friday night game.
Yeah.
Played in a deluge. Reasonably good skill level shown by both teams given the conditions, but Saturday night's game, the Blues and the Highlanders, gee, that was a pretty hard watch, I have to say, Neil. Both teams did their best to lose that game, and the Blues ended up losing it, but yeah, it wasn't particularly pretty, I didn't think.
And you're over there watching the Hurricanes and Chiefs game. Is it fair to say the Hurricanes are a good track team?
Yeah, I like Chanel, I think. They need good underfoot conditions to show their best, which they will get this weekend. But yeah, just probably didn't play the right kind of, didn't get the right game plan for the conditions, and came home far too late, and the horse had bolted, so to speak. But they'll keep. I'm still confident they can win this competition, so just put that down to a rainy night. But Chiefs on a roll, 3 out of 3, and look to have an easy win this weekend against the Rebels lined up. So they're certainly going well. But concerning all the injuries of the big big players, maybe the question mark is, did they do enough pre-season training by having their 12-week break or whatever they have to have? So, I guess better the injuries coming at this time of the season than midway through, sort of, when all the big games are upon us, the Lions series and whatnot. So I'm sure Mr. Hansen will be a little concerned all the same.
Yeah, too right. I'm looking forward to getting your opinion in the sports preview too on the Poms, how they're playing and how you think we might go against them. Admittedly, probably in November, but we'll have a good chat about that later on. Back in a moment with our Group 1 galore of races tomorrow in Australia and here. The Oaks, Guineas, fantastic racing tomorrow, so back in a moment with a preview of that.
Well, Neil, it's a great day of racing both sides of the Tasman tomorrow. As you mentioned, Group 1 features the Oaks here and I think 5 Group 1s in Sydney. We'll start with the Oaks at Trentham. I think you've got a little horse that's paying a bit of value that you like in the Oaks.
Yeah, out of a Queensland Oaks winner, number 10, Fashionably. I'm really impressed with her run last start. I felt she would have pushed Bonnie Vale or even beaten her last start at Hastings in the Lowland Stakes. If she'd got out when she should have, instead of getting out on Bonnie Vale's backside, she may have even won. But I like the way she found the line. She took ground off Bonnie Vale the last 200 metres, about half a length, and I think the 2-4 will suit. Scarlet Lady, some will remember, is a very good filly who won the Queensland Oaks, 2,400 metres, and the off-track will be ideal, drawn nicely. But what are you keen on, then?
I'll stick with Bonnie Vale. I just think the master trainers, this filly out of there's a big old mare, will just find the distance to its liking, and I think she looks the hardest to beat. It's pretty solid form. The Lowland Stakes, you really need to be winning that or coming an unlucky second to be really a chance in the Oaks, and I think her form line, and she's peaking at the right time. Yeah. So I'll stick with Bonnie Vale, $3.50 against your Fashionably $10.
Yeah, I remember a while ago you were keen on Nicolette and Bonnie Vale. You mentioned those at good odds about 6-7 weeks ago, so hopefully some subscribers got on them too. So.
Yeah, and just get the feeling Nicolette might have peaked a little too soon, but yeah, she'll get a cosy run from that draw, so you wouldn't write her off. Clearly going to be hard to beat, but yeah, I just think the stablemate, the way it hit the line at Hawke's Bay, will be the one to beat. What about the Guineas? Wellington Guineas, pretty good race. Saracino, Ferrando, both pretty well performed sprinters, getting out to 1,400 metres. That'd have to be a question mark for both of those two, you'd think.
Yeah, I agree too. Ferrando, even though he won at Ellerslie, I was still a bit doubtful at a strongly run 1,200 metres, so he'll go forward here. Lethal will be on him, Saracino will go forward, and there'll be 3 or 4 others too. So there's going to be a reasonable pace, and so I've gone for Luna Rossa, number 10, for value. I think she's drawn out wide, we'll have to snag back from that draw, but with a good tempo, and if that rails off, which it could be by this time of day, she could get over these quite nicely. She's a good filly, back to her own age group, from Group 1 older age group company. So, yeah, Luna Rossa for me, but anything you're keen on?
Same ownership as Humidor before they sold down their shareholding in Humidor, Joe Mara Bloodstock. The Carter siblings, John, Mark and Rachel, I saw them there at Flemington last week, so it would be nice to get another group victory this side of the Tasman this week. You'd say they'd be living the dream if that happened.
That's right, yeah. I know, you supposed to follow people's luck sometimes, like with the ginger nut owners. A lot of lucky people in there, and they're living the dream all right, so that's great to see.
How do you think Ginger Nuts will go over in Rose Hill?
Well, I think he's got a great chance. He's paying $5.50, but I think he'll pay more closer to start time, and that slow to heavy track, it'll be even though they'll call it heavy over there, I suppose, it'll be like when he won the Avondale Guineas, slow track. I think he's great each way money. Coming Through is a good horse, but needs a firm track, I feel. If it was a firm track, I'd be on Coming Through, but no? You agree?
Yeah, to be fair, I don't have a strong opinion. But the wet track you'd think would be in his favour for sure, the way he closed off that last 600 in the Avondale Guineas on and off track, so he's certainly not going to, you couldn't blame the track. but probably that track will throw the spanner amongst the pigeons, to mix my metaphors there. In the Golden Slipper, she will reign pre-post favourite until about this time last week, and she might be struggling now. What about Hootson from that wide draw? Do you think she'll handle the track?
Yeah, I think she'll handle the track reasonably well, but I just can't see her winning because there's going to be a fair bit of pace inside her, and she won't cross because the inside won't be the place to be, so she'll sit. Could be 3 wide on the pace, and they'll kick up inside her. And it's set up nicely for a horse just sitting midfield a bit better and closing off nicely. And that one's number 11, Tulip. She won really well here last start on a similar kind of track. And I think she'll sit midfield and come with the last run of them. Nice strong filly. Probably goes better this way round too. And for good each way money, $9 and $3 a place. She's probably the way I'd go, just for a small gander, but nothing else I'm keen on. But you got anything strong opinion about that race at all? Or?
Not with the way the track is. There's too many variables there, so leave me out of that as well. Yeah. Well, you must have something sorted out in Australia. You're going to tip something to beat Winks again this week?
No, I think she'll win. Any rain suits her more than anything else in that field. I can see. We know she loves relishes an off track. So, but at Flemington, I'm keen on one horse in race 2. The Answer, My Friend, is Blowing in the Wind. A good song, a good old song. I think he'll sit second outer and win that race. Terrific run last start, leading and getting taken on and just getting run down. Paying $2.10. Chuck him in a good multi with 2 or 3 others, and you'll be hopefully filling those bank accounts up and the TAB accounts too, hopefully. What else on the day? Sacred Shot in the first race. Tony Pike.
Yeah, well, his form line stacks up pretty well. That second behind Chanel on Correct a Million Night makes him look a pretty good chance in back to a rating 75 field.
Yeah.
What's he come up at? He's up at $1.95.
Yeah. He looks
the price.
Yeah, he looks the winner for the first race there. And if we're talking about Chanel form, look at Cicada in the 4th race. He has to be hard to beat. Drawn well, get all favours, and the Form Pro ratings. He said he'd just say he should win. So, and Andrew Fulton was quite bullish too about his chances. So, has to be a
nice, fair enough.
Anything fashionably? Nothing else. Rude Not To in the first race. Interesting runner. She rates 5 lengths clear of anything else. If she runs up to her ratings with that 4 kgs off, she'll get the lead, and she puts her head down and just goes. So she could be a good one to multi up with Sacred Shot on the first at Trentham and get yourself off to a good start.
It's race 1 at Te Rapa, Rude Not To,
Yeah.
I think that game Nicholas in that race could be a false favourite. It's set at 12 race day starts. 11 of them have been right-handed, so you get the feeling that it prefers that way of going. So it could be a risk coming back left-handed. So
yeah, good point.
We'll see. Yeah, I just thought when I saw that price go up, I thought there's a false favourite.
Yeah.
But Rude Not To. Drawn 1. The old riding instructions, straight to the front, increase the lead and sprint home, maybe.
It's dead right, nice and simple. I hope she does it too, or he or she. Not too sure what sex the rider is, but I don't mind as long as they win.
He is it? Harry. We call him Harry.
Oh, yeah. Go Harry. Give it to them. And one that's not a false favourite in the 6th race at Te Rapa, Kalani. He's a very good horse. He's been training extra special, drawn well. I think he's a good bet there at $5. I think is a good value.
That price has surprised me. I've seen that now. Yeah, $5.
Yeah,
he won't close at $5.
Oh, you think he'd be closer to $3? I thought
$3 to $3.50. You'd think. Yeah.
That
was our chocolate fish bet. They're going head to head again. That of course cancelled last week, but Kalani and enough. But yeah, with the barrier draws and back to Te Rapa way, definitely that's Kalani's track more than enough, so I'd say. So I'm not going to take you on there.
How about the Oaks then? I'm pretty keen on Fashionably.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll stick with Bonnievale, and I'll be feeling very generous after yesterday's meeting, Neil, and so I'll give you a 2.5 length head start. So head to head, Bonnie Vale, a big fashionably by at least 2.5 lengths.
Okay, I'll take that. No, very nice of you. I will definitely take that. And looking forward to that race. It's a race I've always liked going to when I was living down at Trentham. And get up in that public stand at the top there, and you get a great view of them coming down. Remember watching Savari went up there, and Traden Wood and Bergerson. He was up there too. There was probably about 20 of us up there. I was the first one to congratulate him after the race, and just a great thrill to see her coming through along the rails there. Yeah,
that was a daring ride by Tinsley that day.
It sure was. No, it was great. I lost sight of her too, coming through on the turn, so it was good to see it come through on the rails there. No, good memories there.
Midnight Oil, that was another one of your favourites, wasn't it?
Yep.
Winning the Oaks.
Yeah, and she paid well. Didn't go on. I think she went to Australia, but didn't do too much over there. But
yeah, she disappeared very quickly, really, didn't she, off the radar?
I think she had knee problems or something, but anyway, no, she was a good one. Okay, nothing else you like for tomorrow before we go into the sports section?
I'll save it for my $100 bet.
Okay.
You'll have to listen to part 4.
Rightio, back with part 3 in a moment with the sports preview and a couple of gems for the money shot. Okay, back with part 3 with the Money Shots preview of his best sports bet. I know a lot of listeners look forward to this part, and so do I, because you can chuck them into a multi, and if you had a bad day, usually the sports take place on Saturday night or Sunday, and we can recover. So, Money Shot, I need some good recovery bets. What do you got in line for us?
Well, we'll start off Saturday night, 7:35 at the Cape Tin. The Hurricanes take on the depleted Highlanders, and the weather forecast looks pretty good for Wellington, so I can't see anything other than a comprehensive Hurricanes victory. The Highlanders, they literally fell into win last week against the Blues. They scored 1 try in 80 minutes against the Blues, and that was thanks to an unlucky bounce of the ball, really. So the Hurricanes just have far too much firepower for this Islanders side, and I think they'll cover the 9.5 point start, and they'll be keen to get things back on track after losing in Hamilton last week. So watch them do the business, then flick over the channel to the league, and on Saturday night we'll stick with our friends the Penrith Panthers. They are at home to the Roosters, and I just like the way Penrith are travelling. James Tarmow, he's been a good addition to the team, and young Nathan Cleary there in the backs, and they seem to be gelling very well, the Panthers, so I think they'll be too strong for the Roosters, and it's just a head-to-head $1.87 a pair, so take the Panthers there, head-to-head $1.87, and then we're sticking with our old friends, the Canberra Raiders, a team that loves to turn a 13 and over loss into a 13 and over win the next week. They're renowned for doing that, and I think they'll bounce back with a vengeance after letting us down last week. At home again, this time against the Tigers, who looked pretty ordinary against the Panthers, and Croker's back for the Raiders, and you can be sure Ricky Stewart would have really given them a large serve, so they'll be good to go, and they'll smash the Tigers and cover the 7.5 point start there. So it's the triple trio multi-Neil: Hurricanes minus 9.5, Panthers head-to-head, Canberra minus 7.5.
Sounds terrific. Okay. Now, the Poms have been bleating on about bringing on the All Blacks in November. Do you think that game will go ahead? And if it does, any prediction at this far out?
My gut feel is it won't go ahead.
Why is that? Any reason?
What have we got to gain from it, really? We're the world champions. We're the number one. We don't need to prove anything in theory. If we went over there and lost to them, it gives them an advantage for the upcoming World Cup and the return games, etc.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I just think they're dangling this carrot in front of us in terms of the money side of it. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Could be wrong, but hey, I think every single New Zealander will be cheering for Ireland on Sunday morning. I think that game is it? The Six Nations game where England go for the world record. I think it's 19 consecutive Test wins and obviously the Grand Slam as well. But yeah, let's hope Ireland spoil the party on Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. I see that $2.55 and England $1.47. So I haven't watched enough Six Nations to have a real strong opinion, but go Ireland. That'd be quite ironic. They stopped two teams within the space of 6 months of breaking the world record, so they'll be up for it at home, that's for sure, especially maybe some of the fans might have a hangover from St. Paddy's Day being the night before Ireland time, but they'll be giving England a fair run for their money, you can be assured of that.
Yeah, too right. No, the game with watching and be interesting. Result, definitely all right. Okay, back with part 4 with the brickbat and bouquets, our $100 bets, and the question for the week.
Part 4 now, Neil. Time for our brickbat and bouquets, and I'll let you kick it off. I think you've got something in both camps. We'll start with your brickbat.
Yeah, just looking at the controversy at Flemington with the inside bias there, and information they have out with the instrument called the going stick now, which you insert it into the ground, then shear back a certain degree, gives a really good. It tries to imitate the hoof of a horse going into the ground and gripping it, and it gives you a good map of where the good parts and the slower parts of the track were, and that would be fantastic to have over here. All we get here is the penetrometer readings, which are a closely guarded secret, and if they were able to be published, punters then could make up their mind about where the inside and outside bias is. We've gone over this before a few times on the website as well, so it's frustrating, but with the wet tracks coming up, it's going to be crucial, knowing which part of the tracks are better than others. Otherwise, punters just wait for 3 or 4 races or more before they have a good punt, so it costs turnover. But, something a lot of punters are annoyed about, and hopefully it comes in sometime, but I'm not holding my breath. Okay, you got any brickbats?
Yeah, my brickbat. TAB been doing a lot more of these recently. They have these specials. It might be, say, Daniel Johnson to ride 3 winners on the day, and it might pay $3 or something. Be very careful, punters. Whenever the TAB offer you an option like that, and they don't offer the inverse of it, i.e. Daniel Johnson not to ride 3 winners on the day, you can be sure that you're probably taking unders. So, I just think if you're going to offer an option like that, offer the opposite so punters can choose. Either she will ride 3 or she won't. And I just think if you're not willing to offer both ways, then you can rest assured you're taking unders 99% of the time.
Yep. No, definitely. It's a bit I've never had a go at, actually, but you do see the odds there, but no. Way unders.
You got a bouquet though?
Bouquet has to go to Leith Innes for getting down to 53.5 kgs to ride Chenille. It was definitely worth his while, obviously, but that was a big go for him to get down from his normal 56, 57 kgs. He rides that, so 3.5 kgs when you're skinny as anything, not much weight on you, is pretty good going. So,
yeah, I think he had a graze last night. I think he had a bit of a feed last night, so as a reward. But I guess that's the job they're in, and to waste like that and then still have to have the strength to ride 7 races on the day, etc.
Yep. Good effort. Top.
Good effort indeed. Good effort indeed. Okay for me.
You got one? Yep.
I'll give it to Emily Murphy here, post-race interviews. Very professional and knowledgeable, and she does a good job, so I'll give her the bouquet for this week. Yeah,
she is too, and the lady who's gone over to Melbourne, named
Jane Ivel.
Yeah, she's done a great job over there, so in the parade ring selections, and it's good to see her doing well over there too. So, right, now the question for the week. Have you got anything lined up about the Oaks that might...
Yeah, well, touch on last week's question, which was the first midweek Auckland Cup. We must have had a premonition or something, because we had one again this week. Pentane was the horse that won the first Wednesday Auckland Cup in 2006. I think Grant was our winner, but he bombed out with a few horses that let him down, namely La Bella Dioso.
Oh no, he had it for a place with the bookies, and they pay out on third place, so we had that $1.50, I think it was, into Iron Star.
So it wasn't La Bella Dioso in Australia?
No, it was La Bella Rossa at down the line. What was it?
At Hara.
Hara, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so my Raiders let him down.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh dear, sorry about that, Grant.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, hopefully, Grant, he can enter again this week. And we might not have quite so many winning entries this week. So, Oaks, Murray Baker, trains in partnership nowadays with Andrew Forsman, got two very strong chances in the Oaks, Bonnievale and Nicoletta. We want you to name the last trained horse or winner that Murray Baker had in the Oaks. Who was Murray Baker's last Oaks winning filly? He's had two. We want to know the most recent of those two. So this might sort the men from the boys, so to speak. So get your answers into Neil, either by text or email.
Yep, 027 352 6402 or formpro@formpro.co.nz. Get it in by 10 p.m. tonight, and I'll let you know either way soon after 10 p.m. If there's more than one correct entry, my wife will draw out the lucky person. And if you can let me know that multi by 11 a.m. Saturday morning, so people can follow your bet. Now, $100 bets. You can go first.
You want me to go first?
You go first.
I don't know what yours is. I might have stolen yours. Trentham Race 2. Tomorrow, horse that won down there before Christmas looks pretty promising to my eye. Number 8, Royal Success, $3.40. I thought that was a fair price for a horse that's won 4 out of 6.
Yep.
Good run at Ellerslie 2 weeks ago, and I think back left-handed at Trentham, a track he's won on before, will be very hard to beat.
Yeah, and I'll go Kalani, race 6, number 1. That's $5, and $2 for a place has to be great money. So 50 each way Kalani at 5s and 2s has to be a really good bet. So it's going to be an excellent day of racing tomorrow. Good fields, Te Rapa, Trentham and Australia, and just need to make sure we just pick and choose the horses you want to bet, because buyers can come into play during the day, and things can happen. So just be careful. But my horses rated 3 out of 5 are the ones I target, and if they look good and the track's playing fairly, everything's going their way, I'll be on. So anything else you want to mention, Money Shot, before we sign off?
Well, just make sure that you don't blow your chips tonight by having a huge St. Paddy's Day night celebration, and then you wake up tomorrow and you've forgotten everything we've told you.
That's right.
So be safe out there, and good days racing for sure. So
yeah,
you know what I'm looking forward to most tomorrow, Neil?
What's that?
Tony Lee's calls back on the Champagne turf.
Yeah, too right.
I'm sure he'll give us a good call on the Group 1.
Yeah. But the problem might be he might forget his way to the call box. I hope he finds his way there, so he doesn't. We don't get a silent commentary of the Oaks. But
it's a good commentary box there, sort of the front of the top layer. I've been in the box with him a few times, watching him call. I remember one race, probably a 2,000 metre race, and he's calling it, and at the 1,000 the cigarette gets thrown out of the mouth. He's caught the first half of the race with a cigarette in his mouth. You'd never know. And then he gets serious, and out goes the cigarette, and he's concentrating on the last 1,000. So he's a bit of a genius, as our friend Mr. Tony Lee. Yeah. So it'd be good to have him, his dulcet tones back over the loudspeakers at Trentham.
Yeah, just like the good old days. Now, looking forward to tomorrow's racing, and everyone have a great day tomorrow. Enjoy the racing, and back plenty of winners.